evangelical leaders and pastors who have so shamed Christians for A, being politically involved, but B, expressing love for country.
Yeah.
You know, that if you do that, it's idolatry, it's Christian nationalism, that people are ambivalent and nervous about that. You watch every July 4th, I chuckle because people will express, you know, they'll say, happy birthday America, but they'll caveat it with, our 10 worst things we've ever done.
Yeah.
I love America, but all these things. And I'm just sitting there thinking, we don't do that for anything else, right? On my anniversary with my wife, I don't say, I really love you, even though you've done all these things. Or my son's birthday, I don't say, happy birthday, except here's the list of terrible. I think part of it comes from a misunderstanding as Christians that because we're citizens of the kingdom of God, because Christ should be our highest allegiance, that we then can't have any lesser allegiances, that we have to either choose God or country. And there are times where you do, right? If you think in the book of Acts where Peter says we have to obey God rather than men.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time it's not a binary choice. And talking about it's not one or the other, but it's about ordering our loves,
Yes.
right? So Christ is our highest allegiance, but we can have lesser allegiances. And we really know how to do that, right? 23 years ago, I stood at the altar and I pledged allegiance to my wife. And I knew in that moment that Christ is my highest allegiance. And if he was, then I would actually be a better husband.
Yeah.
And I knew that she was underneath that.
Yeah.
But the pastor wasn't saying, well, you have to choose between Christ and your wife. No, it's about ordering them. And
Yeah.
we do this in other ways. And it's the same thing with our country, that you can love your country well if you have Christ as your highest allegiance. And I think most people are just feel like, oh, I can't think about patriotism. It's always idolatry. It's always wrong. It's always dangerous and scary.